Alright, Ryca fans, we're going to be going over the CS-2s Scrambler video. You're going to want to watch the CS-1 and the CS-2 videos for most of the build. This is going to go over the high pipe and side cover installation. It's not recommended to mount the CDI box on the left side of the battery box. You're going to want to put it behind the battery so it doesn't get too warm from the high exhaust. There's room behind the battery, as shown in this next image, to mount the CDI, as seen here. So the rest of the steps here you're going to want to do before your parts are painted. The first step being take the side cover bracket for the high pipe, and you're going to install that on the left hand side of the battery box with the 632 by 1/4 inch thumb screws, as shown here. Tighten it up a little bit to hold it in place against the frame rails while test fitting the exhaust. You're going to install the stainless exhaust bracket against the frame with the M6 by 20 hex cap, one of those, and the M6 thin hex nuts. Those are to allow for adjustability on the exhaust. You can fine-tune the distance as shown here. So you're going to mount that to the tab, to the T-bolt clamp, and slide your header into place. It's going to hang from that clamp. Now here you can see from the back view that the thin hex nut can be adjusted to alter the distance from between the shocks. Make sure it doesn't touch either the frame or the shocks. And here's a shot of the T-bolt clamp mounted to the bracket itself that holds it in position. And once again, you can adjust the hex nut on the bracket up top at the tab to move the exhaust left or right to fit it perfectly. Now this is showing the top view so that you can see that it slides between the shock tower and the frame itself. And here it was with the muffler test fitted, so you can test fit your muffler, make sure it doesn't hit your tire. Now you're going to only want to run up to 110 width millimeter tires. Anything wider than that risks hitting the exhaust. And here's the exhaust bracket. Now this is going to hold the muffler in place to the stock seat tab. Here it is replaced with the M6 by 16 cap screw and fender washer, holding it in place here. And here you're going to attach the bracket with the M6 by M8 by 10 hex caps, M8 thin hex nut, and the split ring washer that's with the muffler. And here you can see the chrome extended exhaust bracket goes up to that bracket on the seat. You don't want to tighten this up yet. You can use the thin hex nut to attach the bracket to the muffler. Make sure that sits flat on there. If you need to adjust, you can make small adjustments in the hanger bracket in a vise if you need to, but small adjustments are all that would be needed. And here you can see it sits flat and goes down to the muffler with the new thin hex nut on the thin hex head bolt on the muffler. Now you're going to take the new side panel attachment and sand off the powder coating. Make sure it's got a clean fit. Don't use any cleaners, but just sand it off and wipe off the dust. And test fit your side cover. You can get a trimmed one, or you can trim your original CS1 side cover as well with the template. Here you can see it test fit in place, and the heat shield also slid into place. Once you test fit it and it fits well, you can mix up the two-part SEM glue and glue it to the bracket itself, making sure it's straight with the seat pan. And here it is disassembled from the bike, attached together with the small 6/32 by 1/4 inch, or excuse me, the M4 button head cap screws and the M4 washers and the M4 nuts. Here we're tightening the brackets together, the two metal brackets. So once you can either tighten that with an Allen head and a wrench, or even get some pliers in there to tighten it up. And then refit the side cover back on the bike and make sure that it fits in place. This next diagram is the wiring diagram for the taillight, which is also in the CS2 videos. Just shows how to attach your original wiring harness to the new Lucas-style taillight included with the Scrambler. Now, as I said before, just watch the CS2 video and the CS1 video for most of the assembly guidelines. And once again, the rear tire, you're going to want to use a 110 width tire or smaller. A 120 may work, but it comes really close to that upper exhaust. So you're going to want to use a 110 width tire, and we offer that on our website as an option on these kits as well. All right, stay tuned for more.